Hey everybody, welcome to Hang with the Hannahs. This is going to be the first video posted on this page, and I thought I would start by introducing myself and letting you know kind of how this all came about and why we're doing it and how we're doing it, and just share that background with you a little bit so that when you join us in the future when we're on the road, you kind of know where it all came from. So my name is Shannon Hannah, and my husband's name is Robbie, and I have two daughters, Ava and Sophia. They are 10 and 12 years old, and I sort of had this epiphany last week. It's kind of been in my gut for a long time. I've had this feeling like, all this craziness in the world, and we're seeing so much violence every day. And I'm not on here to debate anything political. I just, I'm explaining. I had this feeling in me for a long time that, you just want to run away, you want to get out, and you want to see the world. And I'm 48 years old. I'm quickly approaching 50. And my parents died. My father died at the age of 50, and my mother died at the age of 52, 3 years after my dad. So maybe a little bit of it is, maybe some people would call it a midlife crisis. I don't feel like that's what I want to title it. I think it's more of an awareness and really becoming aware of the things that are important to me in my life. Maybe it's taken me to this age to really learn and to really understand the things that bring me happiness and joy. And then thinking about my father, he was 50 years old when he passed, and the only thing he ever wanted to do was go on a cruise and to Hawaii. Well, he never touched foot on a cruise ship. He never got to enjoy his life. He worked up until just about the day he died, and I watched that man drag himself out of bed at 5 a.m. every morning, sick or not sick, and go into a tool and die shop and work his entire life and never really enjoy his life. Like I'm sure he loved his family, and I'm sure he enjoyed moments, but he never really lived. And there's a video going around on Facebook. Gosh, why can't I remember his name? Jay, what's his last name? Anyways, it's this amazing video, and it was talking about how people, work to obtain things, and people go to work to buy the car they want so that they can go to the job in order to afford the car and to afford the house and just to acquire all these things. And you're not really stopping and enjoying, what's around you. You're kind of in such a hurry all the time, and you're obsessed with, maybe obsessed isn't the right word, but like we strive to meet this standard that society has set for us all, chase the jobs, chase the money, the finer things in life, work hard to upgrade to the new car, to upgrade to the bigger house on the block, and to give your kids private schools, and to do all these things. And the other day after watching that video, this feeling has been inside me for a long time, but that video pushed me like right over the edge. Like I was crying, and my husband was sleeping, and when he got up, I was sitting on our couch crying, and he's like, "What is wrong with you?" And I just told him, I said, I have this desire to take our kids and for us to really start living, like to hell with the stuff, how many purses can I have? How many, pairs of designer jeans? How many cars can you get? How big of a house do you need? Like all of these things that have no meaning whatsoever. In the end, I was telling him, like, in the end, it's not going to matter. Like, nobody's going to remember the purse I carried. Nobody's going to remember what the hell kind of car I drove. Nobody's going to remember if we lived in this mansion or in a regular house or whatever. People are going to remember the way I treated them. They're going to remember the things that I did with them. And in the end, that's all that really matters, and the way you give back to those around you. So it was just this like amazing realization. And I said, I wanna travel with the kids. I wanna take them, and if, instead of having them read a book about Washington, D.C., we'll put them in the car and we'll drive them to Washington, D.C., and we'll educate them that way, and we'll show them everything. You wanna learn about the Grand Canyon? Great, we're gonna load up the car and we're gonna go to the Grand Canyon this week. And I think it's invaluable. Like, there's no textbook that can teach that. There's no way they can learn from a book what they can do in reality. So I just want to give them like the opportunities to experience those kind of things, maybe things that I didn't necessarily get to experience as a kid. And that as I'm getting older, I think, God, my life is technically half over, and there are things in the United States of America even that I haven't seen, let alone abroad. And my dream is to go to Italy and experience that. So it's like, when do you really start living? At what point do you find that the stuff, all these materialistic things, are not what matter? And when do you say, to hell with the fear? Because I think that's what stopped me for a while, is that I had a healthy amount of fear. Maybe it wasn't healthy. I had some fear that if I did this, oh my gosh, what if this happens? What if that happens? What if, all these questions. And then, that day I was like, who cares? Who cares? It's part of the experience. And I'm not going to let fear dictate what we do. And surprisingly enough, Robbie agreed with me, which I was kind of shocked. And I think he could see really my passion for it and really how emotional I was about it. And then we put our plan in motion. And I called that day and I enrolled my kids in online virtual school for next school year, the 2018-2019 school year. Michigan offers a variety of online schools. They're public schools, and they provide all the materials for you. Like, they'll send you a computer, they'll send you a printer, they send you anything that you need, and they give you like a schedule, and they work with you, and it's all based from home. Well, online, and that you can do anywhere. So if we're traveling, we already have our RV rigged for internet. My husband is really good with that kind of stuff, so he knows how to get it where it's internet ready at all times for our kids. And we also have smartphones and all of those things. But so we went and started shopping for an RV, and we didn't know, do you want to do a motorhome? We are like completely new at this, going in this blind. We watched so many YouTube videos. We watched this RV channel. We watched documentaries. We like the gamut. Like, we spent hours and hours and hours like researching and watching things and watching other people do it and their stories. And it inspired us even more. And last week we went shopping. We found a used RV, beautiful RV in wonderful shape. We bought that. My husband spent all day the other day like cleaning and doing everything. I'm making lists of things that will be necessary to take with us. And inevitably, I know we're going to forget something that's super important, but you know what? Who cares, right? So the plan is to homeschool our kids so that we can just travel whenever we feel like it. At first, we're going to take some small trips, maybe 2-3 weeks at a time. The longest one we have kind of in our head is maybe a month. We're going to travel. We're going to go and see how it goes. And this is what I said to Robbie. Okay, so it doesn't work out. What's the worst that can happen? We come home. We have our condo. We're not selling it. We come home. We have a home base. The kids can go back to school. You can go back to work. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But we can at least say we tried it, right? So that's kind of where all of this is coming from. It's just been something inside of me for a really long time. And I'm really passionate about it. And I really want to do this. And we're really not set right now on our first trip. We're kind of thinking maybe south down to Florida, and then maybe go across the United States out towards California and back. So we're not really sure exactly when we'll embark on the first one, how long we'll stay. It's all kind of up in the air right now. Our kids still have some school left, so we can't really pull them out now. I wish we could. And Heidi, who commented on this Dollface, on my Dollface page, she's like, you know, we want to know why you started it. And she gave me an inspiration on what to talk about here tonight. And I'm kind of excited about the freedom of just being able to pick up and go. And I'm excited about seeing what's out there. There's so many places I haven't been in this amazing country we live in. And the things I'm kind of nervous about, you know, we're not experienced RV people. I'm a little nervous that, you know, what if we're on the road and something happens to the RV? You know, then I'm like, well, then you call roadside assistance, or you change the tire, or you know, you figure it out. So those things, you know, I have a little nervousness about, but I don't think it's a deal breaker. Not really nervous about anything else. You know, I want my kids to be happy, and you know, I hope that they enjoy it as much as we do. And I think what I'm most hopeful for is that we grow so much closer as a family, and that these experiences teach us all something, and that they help my daughters to realize, you know, that they don't have to work a 9-to-5 job. They don't have to follow the pack. They can go against the grain once in a while and experience things that they want to. And maybe they're not going to get a traditional job. Maybe they'll do something else, and that's okay. I want them to kind of get a sense of what's really important in life. So that is the story, and that is why we decided to do this. And I cannot thank you enough for the support and love. I mean, I don't think I've had one message saying, you guys are crazy, don't do it. I don't think I've had one. Every single message has been, you're gonna love it, it's amazing, I can't believe you're doing that, you know, it's wonderful. So fingers crossed that everything goes as expected, which you know it probably won't. But I wanted to say thanks for joining me here on YouTube, and I hope that you'll share it and share it with other people. Maybe we can inspire somebody else to kind of go off the grid for a little bit, so to speak. I guess we're not really going off the grid because we'll have internet, but you know what I mean. We're stepping outside the box to try to experience life. So thank you so much for joining us, you guys, and I hope that we can encourage and inspire you. Much love to you. Talk soon.